Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shenanigans. We have a good game for you this afternoon, and let's introduce our vast cast. James, who are you and who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm James. I'm also known as McTacky. I'm an administrator on the Koibu wiki. I help moderate edits and such, but I'm not the only editor on the wiki. There's many fine people adding their contributions to the wiki these days.
Oh, splendid.
Yeah.
How many people do we have working on the wiki these days?
Around 4 active people at the moment.
Ooh. Slowly increasing.
Yeah. Yenna has been doing a lot of stuff because the wiki got converted last week to the United Community Platform or something, and it broke a lot of things. But me and Yenna had to just work overnight to get everything working again.
Oh.
Because the fandom's slowly converting everything over. So
the United Community Platform. What's that?
The UCP. Basically, they're updating the wiki language, but they broke a lot of things in doing so.
Right, that makes sense. Okay.
So the random backgrounds are gone. So this is a static image at the moment. The RSS feeds on the front page are completely gone. They're broken entirely.
Oh, no.
I know. NECA went to all this trouble to have the RSS feed of your upcoming shows on it. And
Isn't life a bitch?
Yeah.
Well, the wiki looks great. You've done a fantastic job with it. I can't believe you.
I got to really thank Yenna again for all the contributions of getting it working again.
Well, it takes a village, they say. Anyway, that's it for our team today. So,
what about James? You didn't introduce James yet.
James, you didn't. You just introduced the wiki, but you didn't introduce your character. So let's.
Exactly.
Who are you playing?
I'm playing a very nice guy called Adrian. He might work for a certain dragon who lives south of town.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because he's got a treasure map in his hands, and he's telling a group of adventurers, look, this is a treasure map. You can find treasure down at this abandoned church if you follow these directions. You should go. Now, if I can't go there alone because I hear there's something dangerous down there, but if you come with me, we can totally take the treasure. I've seen it. I've had reports. It's a lot of treasure.
Well, let's turn on the tavern music and hop into Shenanigans, where you will be starting. Let's roll our dice. It's a pretty full bar here today. We got about 70 people in. There's very little sitting room left. Most people are sitting at tables or at the bar. Just a couple of people standing around, leaning against walls, chatting with each other. You can see Glibglob is running around carrying drinks back and forth quite quickly. And Adrian, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm trying to sell a treasure map to a group of adventurers in the bar, telling them it's not far out of town. There's abandoned ruins down a trapdoor. There's a lot of treasure down there.
And why should we trust your treasure map?
Oh, I'll come with you.
Then why are you trying to sell it to us?
I can't. Okay, there's a strong hobgoblin down there, and I can't take it on. Look at me. I'm scrawny.
They take a look at you. Make me a charisma check.
Oh, dear. 27.
Well, that is much better than their 8 plus 3d6. I'm thinking. I guess technically... Yeah, because on 18, yeah, 26 is the best that they could do. So, yeah. 6 plus 1 plus 3, 10. They get an 18 total. They take a couple looks at you and whisper amongst themselves. And finally, the lead guy leans forward. How much?
2 gold.
For a treasure map that you'll lead us to?
Yeah. Look, I'm out of money. I need... Yeah, I'm desperate.
All right. We'll buy it. How far south of town are we going?
It was half hour, right, Neal?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, half hour.
That's not very far at all. Yeah, sure. They fish out 2 gold and slap it on the table.
It's a set of ruins from an age of prosperity before the current era, over 1,500 years ago. The church built on top, however, was built in more recent times and demolished. It's been rebuilt several times, but
why does it keep getting demolished?
Well, I hear like the monsters in the area just don't like anyone building any building at the top or something. And it was a spider farm for a few weeks, then it got burnt down.
Well, that makes sense. Who would want to farm spiders?
Yeah, yep, you're some fuzzy freak to do that.
Seriously. All right. Well, show us the way.
All right. So, what sort of group of adventurers did I trick, Neal?
Well, let's roll some dice here. You've got someone who knocks over glasses.
Oh, boy.
You got a group of 3. We've got a fighter, the gentleman you were talking to, and his 2 accomplices, a cleric and a mage.
Oh, what god?
That's a great question. I need to go open my goblins.com. What? Oh, I need to go open my tools.
Oh, you're going to do the randomizer.
Oh, let's see. A cleric of Martha.
Oh, okay. Cinder's gonna love that.
Fighter, cleric, oh, Martha, and a wizard. 1 man and 2 women.
The fighter male and the other
Fighter's
2
the
women.
male. Yep, the casters are the women. So they finish their plates. Fighter does a little bit of calisthenics. The mage quietly sits there, sipping some warm water with a little bit of honey in it. The cleric checks their gear, thumbs through their prayer book, gets some ideas for the sorts of things they might need to say during a casting, during a hobgoblin fight. And then the fighter, after he's warmed up his joints a little bit, says, "So, this hobgoblin down there, tell me about him."
All right. It's big. It's like maybe a little bigger than a normal hobgoblin, right?
Yep, usually the tough ones are.
Yeah.
Well, weapons, or is it a spellcaster, a fighter? What are we dealing with?
A fighter.
What does he use as a weapon?
He's got a big club, right? It's got a few spikes on it, but it's a big club mostly.
Armor?
A lever.
The hobgoblin's not going to know it hit him. Does he use a shield?
No, he's got 200 mace.
Oh, dumbass. All right, so we'll go to this place. Got the treasure map. Why do we need a map if you're just going to show us the way?
You know, I didn't think of why I did that.
All right. Well, I guess you just wasted your time. Let's
I
do
do
it.
have a cartography skill, so I might as well use it.
Practice makes perfect, I guess. And they set out from the tavern with you leading them.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
So on the way, the cleric of Martha takes a look at you and says, "You're a curious sort of fellow."
Oh, I'm an archaeologist by trade.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm originally from Mystria before the war happened.
How'd you find this place?
Oh, I asked Desmond, and he said, "Oh, there's some ruins south of town." Then when I investigated them, I was like, "These ruins are over 1,500 years old. Just some stupid ruins built on top of it." It's from like before the breaking of Arcadia.
Ah.
So I think that's where the treasure comes from.
Nods ahead. What sort of treasure is there?
Gold, mostly. Gold
So you
coins.
saw it then?
Oh, yeah. But that whole goblin, he didn't see me, but I fled.
Why didn't you just wait until he left the area and then went in?
But some of his minions kept coming in and out, and
Oh, they're minions too?
leave. Yeah, there's minions, but yeah.
How many?
Well, I saw 3, but I mean, they might not be there.
Yeah, they nod along. This seems still doable and plausible that it might be too much for one person, but like not too much for this group. Okay. Okay. You can take them to the ruins south of town. There's a ladder that you've recently built and added to the pit.
Yeah, it's a nice rope ladder. Like, yeah, that I can pull up if I have to.
They look at it.
Yeah.
The wizard takes a stone, casts the light spell on it, and drops it down the hole and watches it fall.
It's pretty deep.
It's quite
It's
far.
down there a bit. Yeah. The rope ladder does go all the way. I've secured
That's
it
about
to
like 100
to the
feet or
ground.
so. It's a pretty good distance into the earth.
Yeah.
The wizard looks to the fighter. Do you think we should find Flint? The fighter shakes his head. Nah, we don't need him for this, right? We'll just hop on down, kill a hobgoblin or two, take the treasure. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. I'll warn you guys if any minions are coming. If you go down there, like, if there's more than you can handle, come up. But I mean, I can look out up here and tell you if there's any coming down.
What's in it for you? He says, stretching. I mean, you've already taken us here. You've already been paid. Why are you so eager to help us out?
Archaeology, man. I want to go down there and investigate the ruins. Do you know about history? And then I start going on and on and on.
He kind of like waves you off and like is letting you talk, but like clearly looking around and paying attention to other things. Yeah, he starts climbing down. They wait till the fighter gets to the bottom, and he creeps and pokes his head and climbs partway back up the rope ladder and whispers up, "All right, come down, but it's hella warm down here," and then climbs back down.
Yeah.
The mage follows shortly thereafter. The cleric after that.
When the rope ladder has no weight on it and I'm able to freely pull it up, I pull it up. Like, there's no tension left on it. I just start yanking it up until it's beyond their reach.
That's one. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, it appears that they do not notice that you are pulling up the rope ladder. That's a quiet thing to just pull up rope, and if they're paying attention to other things, then it would be easy enough to miss it as long as the rope ladder's not like clacking around. A few moments pass, and then you hear a cry of surprise, followed by shouts of fear, and then the roar of fire, and you can see the hole brightens for a moment and then dims, letting you know the light stone's been destroyed, and a satisfactory growl, momentarily followed by a belch and a hiccup, lets you know that your adventurers have been fed to the dragon.
I lower the rope ladder again and head down to the pit to see if the Lord Cinder needs my assistance or not in this matter.
Cinder's using the fighter's sword to pick a bone out of her teeth.
Yeah. So I was just wondering, like, no one was killed out of range, like the fire breath has killed people out of range in the past.
Well, they're all charred.
All right. Lord Cinder was the meal to your likings, my lord.
Splendid. Insufficient, but splendid.
Yes. I have to be careful with the disappearances in town, because if I get too many, the authorities will be alerted and stop my activities, my lord.
Well, luckily, this is a town where people go missing all the time.
Yes, my lord.
The dragon blinks at you a few times and sorts through some of the remaining loot with a claw, shuffling things around, and then just kind of like tosses it, like kicks it in your direction. The sword, the chainmail, the cleric's mace, a few of the other small surviving things.
Yeah. Detect magic, there's nothing magical, right?
Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah,
magical.
I don't think so. It's just some people I could actually fool, not a high-end team.
These do not belong down here.
I'll take
Trade them for gold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it gives Cinder the 2 gold I got from selling the map.
He barely notices.
I know, but I've got to do something.
You've got to. If you don't, he'll notice. He doesn't care if you give him the gold, but he cares a shit ton if you don't give him the gold,
Yeah. Because I got to sell the map for an amount, but it can't be too much, but it can't be too little. And I thought 2 gold, 200 copper is a good medium ground. They're willing to part with that for the map, but it's not suspicious. All right, so I take this loot and see about reselling it in town.
Okay. Yep. You get a sword, chainmail, a mace, maybe there's a coil of rope that survived the thing. The bedroll's kind of charred. Some odd bits and ends. You can easily sell it to one of the general store merchants here.
Yeah. Right, I'm back in town, and let's head into the general store then to sell these items.
Yeah, it's a simple thing to take these in. People often come across the treasure of dead people and bring it on into Shenanigans to sell, or into Berkshire to sell. So it's a simple thing. You can probably get like a quarter price for it all, because the chainmail and the sword need to be polished because they've just been charred. They got like residue on them. So chainmail is what, 80 gold?
Yeah, chain full is 80.
Yeah. So we're gonna get 80 times 2 plus 30 plus 10 times 0.25. So you can get 50 gold out of the whole thing.
All right, Cinder will be happy about that.
Yep. 3 people turned into 50 gold.
Yep.
Perfect.
Sounds good. I accept the deal. I don't even haggle. I just do medium.
Yeah, a nice, easy deal. You don't want to attract too much attention by haggling. Just take what they got for you.
Yeah. And then I make sure to deliver that 50 gold to my lord.
Yeah, you can head back down, drop off the gold, climb back out, and on your egress, I need you to make me a perception check.
Yeah, I was going to ask some questions with the dragon, but all right.
Oh, we'll go ahead and ask questions before we egress.
I was going to ask, do you know of, the green dragon of Matava? It doesn't rule Matava, but it's, wingless and such. And it lurks in the jungles outside the civilization there.
That creature lives in shame, deformed, unable to take to sky, unable to return to its home, not trapped but incompetent. It's a pitiful creature. It should be put down.
It's beyond my capacities, my lord, I'm afraid. But the flag of Matava is even a beheaded black dragon.
The dragon just stares at you.
Yeah. Did Matava exist before the breaking, my lord?
What do you mean?
Historically, did a human kingdom exist?
None of the existing kingdoms existed before then. They're all recent developments.
Thank you, my lord, for the information.
Dragon considers your presence here, poking it, prodding it with questions, but also delivering it, people.
Is there any tasks you wish me to find out about or inquire about, my lord?
I'm hungry. Bring me more sacrifices.
Yes,
Larger populations, more meat on the bone. Bring me a nice, large, fat woman.
Yes, my lord. And I'll head out. And then my perception check happens as I'm walking back to town.
Yeah, you climb on out of the pit and immediately notice. Let's see if they notice you, though.
Mm-hmm.
No. You immediately notice a pair of goblins. They have arrived in the little stone house here, the remains.
Yeah.
And they seem to be making up some sort of camp. They've dragged over some sticks and they're like building a bit of a shelter in one of the corners of the stonework. Yeah. But with all the sticks clanging around, they haven't heard you climbing out of the pit and are unaware of your presence.
All right. I take out my holy symbol of cinder, so it's visible, the one he made at the end of last episode for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I approach the goblins, asking them if they are here to bring tribute to Lord Cinder.
The goblins startle as you approach them and ask them questions.
This is the property of Lord Cinder. Are you here to give tribute to the great dragon?
Dragon? What dragon?
Down the pit.
What pit?
I point.
Show me.
All right. This pit.
All right. Yeah, the goblins kind of keep their distance, maybe 10 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
They see you come over to the pit. I can't see.
It's right here. I climb down a little bit to show them where the pit is.
They creep forward. They look down the pit.
I climb all the way to the bottom.
It's a long climb down, so you start to... The goblins sit above. And then pull their heads back so you can't see them. I guess you get all the way to the bottom eventually. Some minutes later. I don't know how long it takes to climb a rope ladder, but 100 feet's a pretty good distance. They have popped their heads back over the top and are not visible to you, nor are they speaking in tones you can hear without like a detect noise thief skill.
All right. I'm still holding on the rope, so they haven't cut it. So I'll climb back up.
Okay. Yep. You climb back up.
Eventually get to the surface.
And the pair of goblins are there. They see you climb back out.
My Lord Dragon's down there. He wishes to meet with you.
I want to see Dragon.
Why are you encroaching his property then?
You sure they're Dragon?
Go down there and check for yourself, Mr. Goblin.
Do you speak Goblin?
No.
They chatter back and forth with each other. Give me a charisma check. See if you can interpret any body language.
No.
Nope. Nope. So they chatter. They keep looking towards the pit, and then they draw steel and hold the blades towards you. The lead goblin speaks and says, "I think they're no dragon. You give me your gold, or you go down and pit the hard way."
I guess I've got to cast a spell. Now, what spells does Cinder grant me? Because I've got a new... He's my new god, so I'm not sure how this works.
It's a great question.
Like I've messaged you suggestions in the past, but I don't know what you want me to use for it. Like, would Cinder give me a firebolt, like a 2E firebolt or something?
Cinder's ability to impart magic upon their followers is quite minor indeed. They're not a deity, so they can't just grant you access to large numbers of spells like a typical deity might. Yeah. However, there is a spell that allows you to bestow your spells onto another person. I can't remember its name, though.
Yeah. Or you could treat them like a fiendish pact, like I messaged you about the warlock things on page 83 of Spells and Magic.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm comfortable. If you don't want to do that,
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I guess you don't want dragons to be able to do that, but yeah.
Uplift. What is it?
Because when I converted over, he said he could grant me powers.
Yes, he did promise you that he could grant you powers, but What? There is a name. What the fuck is this spell? There's a spell that allows you to give someone else a spell, and then you can't replace it until they cast it. It's either a 3rd or a 4th level spell. Let's see if I can find it here.
Yeah.
Monster.
All right. Okay, let me go to cleric spells.
Imbue with spell ability. 4th level. By the use of the spell, the priest can transfer a limited number and selection of his currently memorized spells and the ability to cast them to another person. Only non-spellcasters can receive this bestowal.
Well, not a spellcaster because I lost my gods.
That is true. The imbue with spell ability enchantment does not function for those belonging to spellcaster classes, for unintelligent monsters, nor for any individual with less than 1 full hit die. Blah, blah, blah. You have at least 9 wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
15.
Of an informational or defensive nature, or a cure light wounds can be transferred. Transferring other types of spells negates the entire attempt.
Would a dragon be able to bypass that? Because it's, an evil dread dragon.
Okay, let me look at the book itself.
Yeah. I've linked the full spell in Twitch chat, but yeah.
Sometimes the tables are easier to read over here.
Fair
All
enough.
right. Level
Page
of
277.
recipient. You are 1st level.
2.
Second
You
level?
leveled me up at the end of last episode. So
What a shame. You need to be 3rd level to get 2 spells. Priest who casts this lose those spells. For example, a level 7 priest was 5 first and 4 second levels. You sensible fighter with this and this. Eric now only has 4. In the meantime, the priest remains responsible to his ethos for these which your spells are put into components. Okay, so you can get 1 spell. Is there another? Is there a higher level version of this? No.
You can always just make one.
I could, I suppose. Strength of 1, so I heard grips. Okay. So you will have. You're gonna need a particular priest spell here. You're gonna need. Where is it? You are gonna have cause fear.
Alright, cause fear.
Cause fear. Except, it's gonna work like the cause fear spell, but we will call it, minor dragon fear or something like that. Because you will be calling upon your dragon lord's ferocious temperament and temporarily bringing yourself some amount of dragon fear. We'll probably actually use it like an aura rather than a single target thing.
Yeah.
So
sure.
you can, at one moment, channel the fear of your dragon lord.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I invoke the fear and speak.
Well,
Dragon.
I do
Goblins down the
believe-
pit.
I do believe that means we should be rolling initiative.
Yeah, so I'll still use the cleric combat abilities
Yeah.
block because I don't. Yeah, it's not like I've become a wizard or anything, unless you will but later.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Monsters, goblin. 1 goblin, 2 goblins, and oops. I don't know what happened, but the automatic HP rolling for the Roll20 enhancement suite has not been working for weeks, bordering on months.
Jeez.
And I have no idea why. It's the right version. Okay, what we will will deal with this another time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So our goblins. This one will do this and this. And Adrian, roll us some initiative.
What's the speed on Dragon Fear?
That is going to be a spell-like ability. I think that is innate spell ability is 3.
3. Okay. I go first.
Lucky you. You barely beat the goblins who are actually adjacent to each other and staring you down.
I invoke the fear of Cinder upon them. I'm not some person of cheap tricks. The dragon demands your presence down there, be it peacefully or not.
13 and an 18 on their saves. I do believe fear is paralyzation, poison, and death, right? They specifically call out fear saves, but they never say what it is. And I think I read once upon a time somewhere that it's a paralyzation save, because that's like the fear, like being paralyzed with fear. But I can't ever remember. And now that we have a little bit more time, since there's just the two of us, I want to figure this out.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have any knowledge on this subject or an idea of how it might work?
I haven't really thought at all into Dragon Fear ever. So.
Yeah, or just general fear saves, because sometimes they say they call out a fear save in particular. I never know what the hell they mean. This is why we want PDFs of our books, so we can just use the search function on a PDF.
Yeah, well, my the other wiki does have that. The Player's Handbook, and so you can actually search the wiki I made. For
the Player's Handbook? Like all the text of the Player's Handbook?
Oh, yeah, I verbatim is in there. I'll put that in, I'll just PM it to you in Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide. And some monsters.
Let's see. Granted powers. Inspire fear, radiating an aura of fear, similar to the fear spell. It's not what we're looking for. Fear, 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 fearsome, greatly feared, fearlessly. Maybe I should have used a more distinct.
Well,
no.
What's the Dragon Fear rules? Was that in there either?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's also on dragons. I do have a whole section on dragons in here.
Dragon fear. Dragons can inspire panic and fear. The mere sight of a young, adult, or older dragon causes creatures with fewer than 1 hit die, as well as all non-carnivorous, non-aggressive creatures with fewer hit dice than the dragon, to automatically flee in panic. Trained war mounts, stricken with fear. If they're within the dragon's aura, the aura surrounds attacking or charging dragons, blah, blah, blah. Creatures not automatically panicked are entitled to saving throw versus petrification. That's petrification and polymorph, right? Paralyzation, poison, and death. Yeah, so that's PP. Okay, petrification, not paralyzation.
Yeah.
Petrified with fear, okay.
Yeah, well, my save for that's 13, so I don't know what a goblin save is for that.
Failing their saving throws are stricken with fear and fight with minus blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. Okay, so fear save. Now I'm going to check one more thing over here.
Of course. Yeah. So I guess in the intervening time, I like the dragon said I'd be there for a long time and set up a table and chairs. So what happened? I'm just wondering what happened during that time. Did he inform me how to learn speak Draconic? What did I gain from that time?
From the time that you spent with the dragon?
Yeah, because he created a table and chair for me to sit in to converse with him for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or was it just me expanding on the history of the world to him?
I think it was mostly you informing the dragon of what's going on, and the dragon giving you little tidbits of knowledge, but sort of like feeding you enough to keep you around and keep you interested, but not giving you so much that you're
Sated?
Yeah, sated. Perfect. Let's see. Natural fear, underwater combat. Don't know. Yeah, I guess it's going to be a petrification save.
They roll as fighters, or?
They will roll as first level fighters, so their save is a 15, which means one passes and one fails because they rolled a 16 and an 18. So, little goblin on the left is terrified.
Into the pit now.
Right. The other goblin resists your fear and tries to body check you into the pit.
All right.
Now, do you have a weapon in hand?
Yep, I have a mace.
Well, this will provoke an attack of opportunity at +4 to hit. If you can hit the lightly armored goblin, AC 12, you might kill him. Else will natural one. Give me a saving throw versus death.
Down the pit I go. Lip. Is there a button to press for this, or just roll d20?
You can just roll a d20, but there should be a button, I think.
7. I think it's a fail.
Ooh, that is indeed a fail. All right. So the goblin ducks underneath your mace. You kind of expect it to collide with the creature, so you're thrown a little off balance as he tries to body check you. Oh, but he rolls a 2 on his attack roll to body check you, so it's just a whirl. He goes in and kind of like collides with the side of you, tumbles out of the way. You almost slip into the pit. Thank God the goblin failed this the check, otherwise I was going to give you a penalty on your opposed strength roll. And the goblin sort of just bounces off of you. The other one is scared, and not scared enough to run down into the pit where, which is between you and which is towards you, but scared to run away and just flee screaming into the woods. Leaving you with the other goblin. And let's roll initiative.
Okay, well, what's the initiative for picking up someone? Just 3?
Yeah, if you just want to wrestle him, that'd be a 3.
Yeah, I just want to drop him down the pit.
Well, it's your turn.
I go to pick him up.
The goblin armed with his weapon will get an attack of opportunity at +4 against you.
Yeah.
And he'll roll a 12 + 4 is 16.
18.
18. Ooh. I don't think that's... You've got a shield and armor. And I guess if you're trying to grab him, the shield will still come to play. So you deflect the blow to the side. Make your attack roll against the goblin.
That's a basic attack roll, right, melee?
And you miss. The goblin just tries to stab you in the leg with a 4, and the two of you continue to square off. The goblin beginning to pant with excitement, with joy, something.
I take one step away from the pit. So, I move away from the pit so he can't push me in, but I'm trying to maneuver to... So I guess we're trying to both maneuver each other to be facing the pit, I imagine.
Right. So the red X is the pit.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Goblin will roll initiative again. Rolling another natural 1 on his initiative.
I'll just try it, but here we go. Yeah, he goes first.
Splendid. Okay. And the goblin... You're much bigger than he is. You've got this shield. You've got this armor. The goblin is going to decide he's not throwing away his life here right now. So he will withdraw, which you can, of course, follow if you want. And he will back away, trying to get far away from all this nonsense.
Next time you come, bring a tribute for the dragon.
All right. You let him go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Better the fish to bring actual tribute than it not at all.
Okay. The two... Go ahead.
Yeah, Cinder would be disappointed with a goblin anyway. It's just to appetize them.
This is true.
If they come back with tribute, it'd be better. But I have a mission from my benefactor that I must... which is the priority.
Well, let's see it through. What are you going to do?
Head into town and look for a fat woman.
Well... You head into town and search around for large women.
Now, I gotta think of who I choose which fat woman I choose, and how do I lure them into the woods alone with me? It's double creepy.
Yeah. Luring people into the woods is a difficult task. As a man, trying to lure a woman into the woods is much more difficult as well. So, you walk through the streets of town, and sure enough, you spot a large woman after a short period of time. She's got a big basket with a couple loaves of bread, and she's out front of one of the grocers trying to, haggle over the price of some onions.
Yeah. General gauge is there 0th level?
Yeah, definitely just like a regular old person, normal civilian.
Yeah. All right. I'll try tailing them for the day at a safe distance until they're alone.
Okay. So you're going to need to follow them without being seen, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to make me a perception check to see how well you can watch them surreptitiously. And the answer is very good. All right, great. So you can keep an eye on this person as they go about their activities, and you can sort of stay out of sight with that fantastic of a roll. Just see if anyone else Nope, no one else noticed any oddities about this. So you see her go about the quick task of finding the daily food that you need and heading home.
What side of town does she live? North side, south side?
She lives on the east side of town. Gathers her food, heads home. You can hear her hustling and bustling around inside the house. There is a lot to be done today, clearly. There's laundry out on the line. There's food to be made. She's a full-time domestic engineer, so just stuff around the home is all she's doing.
There's evidence of other occupants of the residence?
Yes, but they seem to be absent right now. The house is quite small. It looks like maybe a 2-bedroom or a 2-room home, like a living area that's also partly kitchen, and then probably like 1 bedroom, or maybe like 2 small bedrooms. You can't really tell from the outside, but you do hear the door open and see her head out into the back to, pull in the laundry that's been out in the sun all day. You can see her gathering wood to fuel the fire in the home. What's your plan? If any?
Well, I just feel like brute force is the only way to really do it. Like, knock her unconscious or get binders. Like, how much are manacles? I mean, manacles are expensive, right?
They're very expensive. Locks and keys and that sort of stuff is like pricey, and then like the fine work to like make. Manacles are gonna be super expensive in this day and age. Yeah,
I'll have to just go with rope. So, I'm not near the edge of town. I'm like in the middle of suburbia of the town, or what? Or what's my sort of surrounds like?
It's like a quiet little winding road. It's off the main road by a couple of streets. There's other houses on this area, some large bushes, a couple of trees. The yards of the houses aren't really well demarcated. Some of them might have like a fence around them or a hedge around them, but mostly it's just kind of just open space on either side of the house.
So
there are people around. There's like other families that live here, but no one's out in the streets. But if you were to give out a shout or a cry, very easily like 5 people could poke their heads out of windows to see what's going on. It's that sort of small town atmosphere.
Yeah. Let's see. I can't do non-lethal with my warhammer. I know that.
Yeah.
I'd have to use fists, and that's against the 0th level, and I'm a cleric, so.
Yeah, and also then how are you going to move this very large person?
Well, I've got 16 strength, so I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Moving her, I can do. Just the problem is, it'd be visible. Like, even escorting her at sword point would be very visible. So either method would have a lot of visibility to it.
It's a difficult thing to lure a person out into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
How are you gonna do it?
So she went out the back, did some
Went out the back,
yard.
brought in the laundry. You can hear some oil sizzling on the inside of the house through one of the open windows. She's clearly like preparing dinner or some sort of meal. I guess it's late afternoon, so it's like an early supper.
All right. All right. I go knock on the front door.
She comes on over, opens the front door, and beams at you with a broad smile. Why, hello there, sweetie. What can I do for you?
Oh, I'm just taking a survey, ma'am. How many occupants of the house do you have for the census?
The what, sis?
The government wants to know how many people live in each house. Census is where people go to each building and ask them how many people live in each building. I have my book open and I've got a quill. I'm trying to write down how many occupants, how many are adults, how many children, and their genders.
Oh. Well, I guess if the Baroness wants this sort of information, it can't hurt it. It's just me and my husband. I'm a woman. He's a man. Yep, I'm a domestic engineer. He's a what do you call it? A shipwright. Well, working at it, apprentice for the time being.
He works in the Berkshire Dock District, I'd imagine. Okay. Average yearly income for the household? It's in the spreadsheet.
I know, I'm looking it up, though. It takes a moment. Let's see. Skilled craftsman. He is an average, a little bit, because not quite this. Yeah, so he makes about 15,000 copper a year. Yep.
And how long have you been living in this residence?
Oh, we've been here about 5 years now. Took over the place after my ma died. And, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. This will help with the statistics of the region. Oh, yeah. Who's your primary god of worship, or is it general?
Falumbra. I'm sorry, Nerul.
Home and half. Have a blessed day.
She smiles and shuts the door behind her, and you can hear her whistling as she goes back to work.
I'm gonna come back to this residence at nightfall, so I'll just hang out in Shenanigans until nightfall.
Sure. So you're hanging out in Shenanigans, just taking your time, waiting for nightfall. Desmond comes by, brings you a drink that you've ordered at some point, or some food that you've ordered, and leans in and goes, so what happened to those guys you left with earlier today?
They got killed, man. Yeah. There's a dragon in the basement of the church, and they just burned them all to death.
Sure. Dragon in the basement. Right, buddy.
Yeah, and big red one.
Big red dragon right out of town. Totally.
Yeah.
You could walk there and back in a day.
Yeah. It's only half an hour out of town.
Real? Oh, sure. He just like walks away chuckling to himself. You can overhear him saying something like, it's probably just a little salamander. He clearly does not believe a word you're saying.
That's what I was relying on.
Yeah. It's too tall of a tale.
Because Desmond could actually take him out. That's the thing.
Right.
I mean, took out the big black dragon of the swamp. So he and his party might have a chance.
They might have a chance, but he's retired now. So what is he going to do about it?
He's not going to do it, but he could if he was bored enough.
Yep.
Yeah. And I just keep looking over my notes of the lore I've learned from the dragon over the past whatever amount of time it's been. And I'm listening for the latest war information to give to the dragon, whatever that is. Because I don't know the exact date, so it doesn't have to be
Yeah,
exact.
it's actually pretty quiet about that. Most of the people here are not so much involved with ongoing wars. They're more out for themselves, odd jobs here and there.
Yeah.
So less talk of the front, more talk of, hey, looks like a whole bunch of soldiers were called up. That means more mercenary work. We get to patrol the roads between here and Wicthron Marenta, clearing it of the goblins. It's a great job. Love killing goblins.
How,
that
how
sort
are
of
the iron
stuff.
shipments from the Iron Ridge coming? I mean, we killed the Rock, right? So how are the shipments coming?
People shrug. Oh, what do I look like, a merchant?
I mean, I haven't seen any. Well, what's the...
Let's see. Does anyone know anything about shipments from Iron Ridge?
Yeah.
Nope. Wow, these are terrible rolls. No one has any idea what you're talking about.
No, I
Iron
don't push
what?
it.
Ridge? Shipments?
Yeah, I was with them when...
There's no harbor in Berkshire.
No,
At least none that's connected to the ocean.
No, they killed them.
Well, how can you have a shipment without a harbor? Right? It goes on a ship?
A cart... What's it called when you ship things over land?
Cartgo.
Yeah. All right, that over land of the from Iron Ridge, because that's why we killed the Rock, right?
You killed the rock?
No, I didn't. No.
I mean, rocks don't have lives, right? They're just inanimate objects.
The big bird that used to live on top of the peak.
Oh, you mean that the Queen's children killed?
Yeah. Well, whoever it was, yeah. They had a whole heap of helpers for that.
Yeah, the royal family. Yeah. I think
yeah.
the Queen's son and daughter went out and did it. Double-handedly.
Yeah. Like yeah. Yeah. I was just wondering, because I want this war to be over, so yeah.
I don't know. I didn't even know that the rock had anything to do with the iron.
Well, that's why they did it. It was a priority because it was breaking up shipments.
Was that a fact, huh? I just thought they were doing it for the funsies of it.
Well, with royals, maybe.
Fucking royals, right? Let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't push my luck trying to get exact information from people to draw attention.
Okay. Yeah. You can make some small talk with people. Apparently, this is the one topic they don't know much about.
Yeah, fair enough.
And you can pass your day until night falls, unless there was something else you wanted to do.
Not during the day, but at night, after night falls, I wait for it to be deep at night before heading over to their residence.
Yes. It becomes late. Shenanigans closes down. Desmond heads home for the night. Borsch cleans out the kitchen, leaves a little bit of mess for Glibglob and his new beau to figure out. And then it's late.
I head across town to that domicile.
All right. You arrive at the house well after dark. There are no candles lit. There's just like a little glow of the fire that they keep burning in the fireplace all the time to keep the place heated, and so that we don't have to light a fire every morning. So there's like, a very slow, firewood just like stacked end to end and slowly burning through. So just the dimmest of glow from the fireplace.
I try the back door because she went out the back door earlier to do the yard work. So is that locked? Do they even have locks? Because those are expensive.
They do not have locks. No, they are poor peasants. Their back door, totally unlocked.
All right. So I try to sneak in silently.
Well, okay. Give me a dex check.
Yeah. Right.
What have I done? What did I do?
I don't know now.
What have I done?
Fail.
Oh, I just closed Discord. That's fine. You failed your dex check. Okay, well, let's hope they don't pass their perception checks while they're sleeping. They have, of course, a penalty because they're unconscious.
Yeah.
Ooh, but a 17 and an 18.
Yeah, they pass.
Well, let's see. They might have shitty perception. 2 plus 4 plus 5. Nope, that one definitely passes, and I guess only one needs to do it. So you slip into the house. You do not quite realize that they have heard you. And as you are making your way in, the other room bursts open, and out comes a mostly naked man with a baseball bat. Baseball is a sport they play here. You
That's
do you
a
say you
baseball
swing
episode
your
yet.
warhammer?
At him, yeah.
Oh, well, neither of you are particularly surprised by this, so I think it is an initiative roll to see who gets to swing first.
All right. 12 initiative.
All right. Our random old regular aged man is going to go 9 plus whatever the speed of a club is.
Well, my Warhammer's 5, so club. What?
Club is speed 4, so 9 and 4 is 13.
Alright, so
You
my
barely
first-
beat him. Although you do not actually beat him, you swing, your mace collides heavily with the door frame, splintering the wood. He brings his baseball bat around towards you. With a 10, it clangs off of your shield, and he shouts, Liza! Liza, get up! There's a man in the house! Get out of bed, Liza! And she will stir, get out of bed, come out to, poke her head out the room, see you in heavy armor, your face obscured probably. It's nighttime. She can't quite make out who you are. Maybe a charisma check. No, can't make out who you are in the dark. Doesn't recognize you from earlier in the day, but makes a bolt to the fireplace to go pick up a heavy frying pan, and we'll roll initiative for the next round.
Okay.
He
13.
will get a 12, and she will get a 9. She will grab the the frying pan, and try and bash you with it.
No.
Which is a 16, but can she get behind you? I don't know. You could probably face it so that she won't be behind you. I don't think she could get all the way around you. So a 16 is a clatter and a miss. The 12 with the baseball bat is a 19.
Yeah, hit.
Success.
Yep, hit.
Baseball bat strikes home for 4 points of damage. Whap! To the side of your head. I guess you've got some chainmail, probably like a Koibu. So it's lessened on the impact, but it's still a mighty blow. It's your turn, though. Ooh. The gentleman shouts, Liza, get the sheriff! Get the sheriff! I'll hold him off here. And we roll initiative again.
Okay.
Liza goes at 11. Baseball bat boy goes at 4.
7.
Okay. So he is parrying. He is going to defend himself and try and keep you at bay. You go with the 7.
Yep.
You beat 2 level 0 townsfolks.
No, but let's try. Crit.
Natural 20 against his presently, I think, 11 AC. So you will single crit.
Single crit.
Yeah, because he took that defensive action.
Damage.
Oh, he only has 4 hit points. Oh no. The hammer smashes into his face just as Liza runs for the door, sort of gets to it, sees her husband go down, and runs screaming into the night. What are you gonna do?
Well, I've got to cut my losses and just back attack her.
You chase after her.
Yeah. Well, is she still at the door? You said at the door she screamed.
She screams at the door and then runs into the night.
I didn't know how far away from the door she is. If she's running down the street, then I'll leave it.
You'll leave it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you gonna go?
I think I'll walk into the woods for a little.
Okay. You
In a roundabout
disappear.
way.
Yeah. You head out through the back door again, I take it?
Yeah. Out the back door, just beeline for the woods and just try to lose my trail through creeks and such.
All right, you head out into the woods. It's dark. You know these woods are dangerous. It's filled with monsters.
Yep.
Let's see if any of them come for you. No, you can stay close to town, or maybe not too close to town, but the areas in which you travel are close enough that you find no monsters. How late into the night do you stay?
Before dawn, I'll head back into Shenanigans. Wait, no, I'll just head down. I'll head to the temple, the abandoned temple. It's only half hour out of town. I'll just head there and rest up on top in the ruins.
Yeah. Okay. You rest in the ruins.
Yeah.
Hold on, you did 7 damage to him. He had 4
Yeah.
HP.
Yeah, so it's not double death,
So
but
he's at
almost.
-3. So we've got 7 rounds. Let's see if anyone can arrive. So it would take maybe a minute, 2 minutes for someone to arrive. They're going to be a non-proficient healer. So they're going to make a non-proficient healing check to save his life. They roll a natural 1. They cause damage instead of helping him. So he'll then be at 3, 4, 5, -6. And then it takes 3 more minutes for someone else to show up. So he gets to -9. And then finally, one more check at non-proficient. Nope, he's dead. By the time the sheriff gets there, and the cleric gets there, the man has died.
Well, I thought in level 0s died at 0, so that's why I didn't coup de grace.
Yeah. Well, they typically do. And this one maybe held on for a little while, but definitely died in the end.
Well, I can't go back to Cinder without a fat woman, so I will have to go back into town tomorrow night.
What about tomorrow day?
I'm not daring.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we take our first break right here, and when we come back,
Break. I was just going to say I wash my weapons and such in a creek, or whatever.
Okay. When we come back, we'll see what happens. See you guys on the other side of a break.